Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses for this very important hearing. 3 weeks ago, the Subcommittee on Investigations and Oversight held a subcommittee hearing in which we heard testimony from nearly all of the offices of Inspector Generals within the jurisdiction of this policy committee, including the Energy IG. One of the things that came out of that hearing that was really alarming to me was testimony from them almost universally saying that they didn't have the resources in their departments to conduct oversight of the many hundreds of billions of dollars of additional funding under IIJA and IRA that were being provided to these agencies. Obviously, this, I think, is an oversight of Congress that funding was not specifically appropriated for the IGs to conduct oversight of the extra funding that we're awarding these agencies. Now, of the billions of dollars that Congress has appropriated to specifically the Department of Energy, the vast majority has yet to be spent. And so one of the things that I would like to discuss in this hearing is my hopes that some of the funding that has been appropriated can be allocated to the OIG within energy to make sure that some of the problems that have occurred in the past in departments across our federal bureaucracy do not occur when we are spending the money that's been appropriated here, because I think we're all united in our desire to make sure that this money is wisely and appropriately spent and that we're doing the good science that was intended with it. Also, I'm going to be interested today in hearing answers to some of the questions posed in a letter that Chairman Williams and I sent at the beginning of April to the department regarding what we consider the clear conflicts of interest exhibited by department employees in owning stock in some of the same energy companies that they regulate. Now, in an amazing coincidence of timing, we did finally receive a response to our letter late last night. However, I would consider the response to be wholly insufficient. Unfortunately, I think this is part of an ongoing trend. 2 weeks ago, Senator Hawley asked Secretary Granholm questions on this same matter and also did not receive adequate responses. And let me just say that I think we're all on the same team here. We are trying to do our duty as members of the legislative branch in providing oversight, and I know the OIGs in these departments are trying to do exactly the same thing. So we should be unified in our interests in getting to the bottom of this. So I'll be asking questions about that today. I think it's still very important that Congress know why the department has not provided substantive responses to the questions that we posed in our letter. And I also am interested in talking to you about how anyone could possibly conclude that having department employees own stock in the same companies that they regulate is not a conflict of interest. So we'll be talking about that a little bit later in the hearing, but thank you again for your testimony today and for appearing in the hearing. I'm looking forward to the rest of the hearing and your testimony. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.